Good morning, Trojans. It's nice to be back on the ground floor, the launching pad, if you will. This is where we started 34 years ago. There's one common denominator on the staff at Park Hill between then and now. In 1983, he was a math teacher and the wrestling coach who would impress the team with his ability to moonwalk to Michael Jackson's Beat It in his red and black parachute pants. That would be your principal. True story. Dr. Ken Schlo. Could we pass the hat and get you to moonwalk again? No chance of that, sorry. In 1983, there was one high school football award which went to the most outstanding player in the Metro, ultimately a senior Trojan quarterback who played professional baseball like his dad. You will meet or re-meet him here this morning in the 35th annual Simone Awards ceremony as we recognize the top high school players in 5 categories. The newest award is named after Otis Taylor, one of the Super Bowl chiefs. When Otis retired, he held career team records for receiving yards, touchdowns, and 100-yard games. The Taylor Award is presented by CNC Produce. Our first finalist was Offensive Player of the Year in the Suburban Gold Conference, 89 catches with 21 receiving touchdowns, 4th best all time in state history. Ronnie Bell, represented by your head coach, Josh Hood. The twins are also here. Why not, guys? Our second Otis Taylor finalist had 85 catches for more than 1,300 yards, 10 receiving touchdowns, 1 rushing, 3 on special teams, including a couple of 99-yard kick returns. From Raytown, Dominic Jacinto is head coach Logan Minnick. Our third senior was actually a tight end in a conference known for flying the pig, passing the football. First team All-EKL with 880 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns. He did all that in just 9 games. From Blue Valley Northwest, Jackson Heath. His head coach is Clint Ryder. One junior is up for the Taylor. He helped his team reach the state semifinals in Kansas Class 5A. He had at least 100 yards receiving in 6 games this year. 11 touchdowns total. From Mill Valley, Logan Talley, his head coach, Joel Appleby. And the winner of the 11th annual Otis Taylor Award, presented by CNC Produce, to the best wide receiver or tight end, your classmate and teammate, Ronnie Bell. All right, twins, Marquez and Kendrick are going to go over to the interview area and have a big moment. You guys been on TV and talk before? No? You're like, oh, crap, man, we got to talk. Brad Porter's a nice guy. He will not bite.
You're Marquez, you're Kendrick. So what do you think? Big brother gets a big trophy there. Is it pretty impressive, huh?
Yeah. I've been part of his whole life, and it's pretty amazing.
There we go, that'll help. All right, so Coach Hood is over here. I've never seen him without a football visor on. Billy Maples is around here with his way cool cowboy hat. If you had to pick between the two, which one are you going to wear for a night out?
I'll wear the cowboy hat.
Wear the cowboy hat. Good answer, guys. Have fun today and enjoy the rest of the awards.
Okay.
All right.
By the way, the Simone Foundation presents a $1,500 check to the athletic departments of all the schools with award winners. More for the double winners. We might have that here today. Bobby Bell was the first Chiefs player inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1983. 2 years ago, he fulfilled a promise to his father to get his college degree 52 years after he finished playing at the University of Minnesota. The Bell Award goes to the best lineman or linebacker in the small classes 1 through 4 in Missouri, 1A through 4A in Kansas, and is sponsored by Great Western Bank. To help with our presentation, we have former Bell winners. The very first one from 2000 in Platte County, Brian Keckner, is here. '2001 Bell winner from St. Pius X, Anthony Simone. And from 2002 at St. Pius, Charlie Simone. '12 Bell winner, by the way, Malik Collins, now a starter with the Dallas Cowboys. We like to talk up the guys who've gone on and done great things. As a junior, our first Bell finalist helped his school win a 4th consecutive state title. He led the way with 92 solo tackles, 14 TFLs, tackles for loss, 3 forced fumbles and recovered, 2 interceptions, a couple of blocked punts, and he boomed a 78-yard punt. Bishop Miege linebacker Dylan Downing, his head coach John Holmes. Our second Bell finalist was a wall on the offensive line. As a senior, he did not allow a single sack or quarterback hurry. He also recorded 89 pancake blocks. Here's DeSoto senior Marshall Kellner, his head coach Brian King. Our third finalist was first team all-conference on defense and offense, 21 tackles for loss with 6 sacks. He's the 4th player from his high school to be nominated for the Bell. K-Stater Travis Britz won this award back in 2011. From Harrisonville, lineman Nick Cruz, his head coach Britt Maxwell. Our 4th finalist, Defensive Player of the Year in the Suburban Blue Conference, 17.5 sacks. That was the best total among all of the Bell candidates. Here's Michael Smith, defensive lineman for Platte County, head coach Bill Oots. And the winner of the 18th annual Bobby Bell Award, presented by Great Western Bank, to the best lineman linebacker in the small school category, Platte County senior Michael Smith. Michael finished with 62 total tackles, 24 solo, 11 tackles for loss. He forced a couple of fumbles with 20 quarterback hurries. Michael on his way over to chat with our Brad Porter in the corner.
Just watch your step. All right, have a seat. Well, we saw you at Arrowhead Stadium the other day. We're very excited about this now that it's happened. What's the feeling? Bobby Bell's name is on there. He's in the Chiefs Hall of Honor. I'm sure you saw his plaque. What does it mean for you to be part of that group?
It means the best. I mean, like, be on top of him, like, be around him. It's not around him, but receive the award from him. It would be great.
The very first player to win this award back in 2000 was Brian Keckner, another Platte County guy. So you're going to join him in some fashion up at Platte County. What did it mean for you to have such a great season and your team to have such a great season?
I mean, good. I mean, it's good, but I mean, it's good to be have to play with him and be at the school. It'll be fun, I guess.
You're not this shy with 17.5 sacks. Obviously, on the field, you're a little different, right?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, well, have fun. Enjoy the rest of the day. All right.
The Buck Buchanan is the second longest running award behind only the Simone. Buck was the first player taken overall in the 1963 AFL draft and a physical freak. 6'7", 230. He ran a 10.2 100-yard dash in college at Grambling. 10.2 at 270 pounds. This award honors the Pro Football Hall of Famer and best lineman linebacker out of the big classes, like it's done every year since 1992. 2 Buck Buchanan Award winners now in the NFL, Elijah Lee from Kansas State with San Francisco. Lee, a 2-time Buchanan winner like Arizona Cardinal lineman Evan Bain from Mizzou. The Buchanan is presented by the Chiefs ambassador, so we invite them now to please come forward for the award presentation. That's when all the guys suddenly get shy. Art still, come on now. Walter White, Bill Moss, Mark Simmons here. All the Chiefs ambassadors come out in front. It's like herding cats over here with these guys. It's like they've never heard it before. Bill, you got your leader, see? You're my guy. There you go. Right in front, sir. Bobby Bell ran 100 yards at 10.2. It took you more than 10.2 to get up here. All right. Here are the 4 finalists in alphabetical order. He was voted the top defensive player in the EKL. As a senior, he recorded 151 total tackles in just 9 games. That's nearly 17 tackles a game, 97 solos, 21 tackles for loss. Blue Valley Southwest linebacker Nick Allen. His head coach is Anthony Orr. Our second finalist, Defensive Player of the Year in the Suburban White Conference on the Missouri side. 17 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, 2 defensive touchdowns, and more than 20 Division I scholarship offers, including playoff-bound Oklahoma, from William Chrisman, senior defensive end Daniel Carson, his head coach Matt Perry. Like Carson, he's a Buchanan finalist for the 2nd straight year, committed to Texas Bowl-bound Mizzou after helping Blue Springs to the Missouri Class 6 title game. Suburban Gold Defensive Player of the Year, Wildcat senior Daniel Parker, his head coach Kelly Donahoe. Our 4th finalist set an all-time single-season all-class state of Missouri record with 36 tackles for loss, 83 solos, 7 sacks, first team all-Suburban Gold, first team all-state, hashtag defend the hill. He should be in ACT college prep class right now with Mr. Abundus, who says he will meet him after school, immediately after school for private tutoring to make up this time. But only this guy, Park Hill senior Bright Ramirez. His head coach, Josh Hood. And the winner of the 26th annual Junius Buck Buchanan Award, presented by the Chiefs Ambassador, from Blue Springs, senior Daniel Parker. Parker finished his high school career in style with 78 tackles and 16.5 sacks. Daniel, first team all-conference in both offense and defense. He never really came off the field for his Wildcats. Posing for the Final Four picture, our winner, Daniel Parker. He's headed over right over the corner.
All right, good to see you again. One of the things we talk about with Blue Springs is what a challenging season you had collectively as a group. You had a couple of kids who decided they didn't want to play, but you rallied your team together, your coach and your teammates. What did that tell you about everybody that stayed and pushed through to get to that championship game?
You know, we really rallied together as senior leaders and just coaches, and we had a team meeting just to let everybody know that we got the bad out of our football team and that we can just gel together and we'll be able to get to our ultimate goal.
All right, some tough losses and some tough games, a couple against those guys up there. What lessons did you take from those challenging games that you maybe didn't come out on the right side of for you to get you to that final game?
Basically, for our seniors, we just have to be able to bring our teammates together because in some of our losses, we kind of parted away from each other, arguing against each other. But towards the end of the year, we kind of gelled back together and we became one as a team, and that's what helped us get to where we wanted to go.
All right, final question for you. You're going to be in Columbia next year. The Missouri Tigers are playing in a bowl game. Who's going to win? Mizzou, Texas.
MIZ all the way, baby.
All right. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Man, what if we'd said Texas? Coach Hill would not have been happy. In 2010, the unthinkable happened at Blue Springs at the Spring Hills final football game. After scoring his second touchdown in the first half, Nathan Stiles collapsed on the sideline and later died 3 days before his 18th birthday. There was an immediate emotional crossroad for Nathan's parents. How do you get past the shock and loss having to bury your child? How do you even get out of bed the next day and the days after that? The Stiles family found strength by remembering Nathan's faith and his tattered Bible that sat on the edge of the basement table. Tattered because he read it and he lived it, which is why they've given away 30,000 Bibles in the Name of the Nation project so others might find abundant life. Please welcome Nathan's parents, Ron and Connie Stiles. And to help with this year's presentation of the Stiles Award, our 2014 recipient is back with us. 3 years ago, he needed emergency brain surgery after collapsing during an Olathe East football game. His recovery's been amazing. He has Hall of Fame parents, amazing as well, nearby. With Mom and Dad, Susan and Pat, here's James McGinnis on the end. Since 2011, the Simone Award Committee has honored the legacy of Nathan Stiles by discovering inspiration from all over the Metro. This time in Liberty with Graham McMorrow. Please turn your attention to the video screen in the back for Graham's story.
He was born at 26 weeks, so he weighed 13 ounces when he was born, which is like less than a can of soda. We didn't know for probably the first 4 months whether to plan his nursery or plan his funeral.
I would say probably about after that first year, there was hope.
So after about a year, we knew he was going to live, but we didn't know what the outcome would be. So nobody thought he would walk or talk or eat.
One of the doctors said he could develop till he's 3, 4, 5, and then just stop developing mentally. You just never know. Super Bowl between Pittsburgh Steelers and the Arizona Cardinals was the first game he actually sat down and watched. And since then, it's been all football.
Football, basketball, and baseball, those are my 3 favorite sports. But I like football the best. I look forward just to cheering on my team and being positive and also doing good when I'm out there on the field when I'm playing. Not giving up, for me, I think that's good, to show the team. I think that's good. Also, you need something positive on your team to always keep your head up.
2 years ago, during a school football game, Graham ended up making a touchdown. And so after the game was over, a man who we didn't know very well walked up to JC and said, when I saw Graham go out on the field, I knew something special was going to happen, so I started recording. So later that night, we got the text from him that had the video, and it said, you're welcome. Graham means a lot to all of us. He's making the boys better men.
Graham's one of those kids who just had a huge impact on our program. When he came in, he was very adamant he wanted to be a player on the team, and coming out every day at practice with his attitude, his effort, and just how he encourages and helps others has had a big impact on us on making us a better team and making our practices better and our game days better.
Stuff can be hard at times, and all I can really do is try my best. Every play, every time when I'm out there. I'm really, thankful what God has blessed me with. I was, not parents told me that I was not been able to walk, and I can walk. So all the glory goes to him.
By Robert Raleigh, our Nathan Styles Inspiration Award winner. Graham McMorrow. Robert, you want to head over there to the entry area with Graham? Hi, baby. How's it going?
Graham, have a seat. I've been doing television for almost 20 years. I think I may have cried one time, ever, on the air. It might happen again. What a great story. You're such an inspiration. Who inspires you?
Just all my teammates, and, they push me to keep going when things are tough, and the coaches, too. I want to thank them, too.
Fantastic. We heard your mom in the video talk about when you were born. She measured your weight in ounces, not pounds. You've put on a little bit since then. Do you enjoy the work that goes into the game of football?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to work hard, and that's why I really enjoy it.
You got the blue glasses on. I'm assuming that's for Liberty?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hey, congratulations. Enjoy the day. You got the biggest standing ovation of the day so far.
One of the constants for the Simone Award over all these years has been the support of kind-hearted men and women who carve out time from their busy lives to support our mission. That includes Super Bowl MVPs, Pro Football Hall of Famers, Chiefs ambassadors, and your favorite Royals. Would all of our special guests and committee members please stand to be recognized? Jeremy Jones, building champions, College Football Hall of Famer Mark Sino, former Chiefs. Stand up, guys. I know it was hard walking up there before. Very good. Last year, Bobby Bell Award, he sneaks in and he stands by the back wall. I'm like, you missed your award, man, you were here. Oh, I didn't know if I should come up or not. Duh. Didn't see him this year. I love Bobby. The list of special folks includes a man who's all in when it comes to Kansas City High School football. Please welcome the managing editor of PrepsKC.com, Dion Clisso.
As every year passes, there are always members of our high school football community who pass away. Those losses are always difficult, and 2017 was no different. This past year, we lost 3 former players, Sean Callahan of Gardner-Edgerton, Roosevelt Cooper of Hogan Prep Academy, and Joe Eller of Staley, along with 3 former coaches, George Perch of Oak Grove, Tim Dorian of Bishop Ward, Nate Danneman of West Platte, and Eric Driscoll of Blue Valley. These men may no longer be with us, but their impact on the game of football will be felt for a very long time. Please take a moment of silence as we remember these men. Thank you. Now we would like to introduce the 2017 Coaches of the Year presented by Spectrum Sports. The Kansas winner took his school to a place it had never been before. Blue Valley North had never appeared in a state championship game until this year, and not only did the Mustangs show up, but they beat two-time defending champ Derby for the Kansas 6A title. This year's Kansas Coach of the Year is Andy Sims of Blue Valley North. The Missouri coach led his team to an undefeated season and a spot in the Missouri Class 5 championship game. With 57 seconds remaining, Staley needed to go 72 yards to score a touchdown and kick an extra point to tie the game. The TD came in 48 seconds, but the Falcons didn't want the tie, they wanted the win. Staley would go for two to get the win 36-35 over Pattonville. The Missouri Coach of the Year is Staley coach Phil White. You guys can go be interviewed now. It's your special time.
All right, Coach Sims. When we talked to you during the season, we talked about some of the tough losses you had. St. Thomas Aquinas, Blue Valley, Bishop Miege, 3 in a row, another one to Mill Valley. Did you at any point question what you and your team were doing, or did you feel confident your team would fight back?
I didn't question that, and I didn't question how tough the conference was. And so it's, it's a really tough conference, and, week in, week out, there's every team's tough, and you find yourself in those positions sometimes at 1 and 3, and I think that's a testament to, how tough our kids are.
When you're early in the tenure of a program and a kid like Graham Mertz shows up, who's going to play at Wisconsin, didn't quite make the football playoff this year, but how much better does that make the preparation each week, knowing you have a kid that talented that you can rely on?
You try not to mess him up. That's your whole goal as a coach is you just try to put him in a good position to win, and that's what he is. He's a winner, and his players rally behind him. There's a kid that was voted team captain, and he's got perfect attendance in the summertime. I think that's what a lot of people don't see. Of course, they're going to see the stat pages, the highlights, but they don't see what he does throughout the halls. He's a great student. He's a great athlete. He's a great teammate, and I think that's probably what stands out the most to me about him.
Final question for you. You only get to be the first state champion in school history one time. You're it.
Yeah, it feels good. I don't do this often, so it's, I'm very grateful to be here.
All right. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
All right. Coach? Phil Light from Staley High School. All right, take me to the championship game. You're down 7, under a minute to go, about 72 yards in front of you to at least have a chance. Do you have a play sheet for that, or are you running on gut instinct at that point?
We practice that situation 2 or 3 times a week. Our kids feel very confident in our play calling at that time, and our coaches had a great game plan. So we knew what to expect prior to that situation, and we just executed.
As you get the touchdown to get within 1, you have a decision to make. Are we going to go for 1 and tie and maybe go to overtime, or am I going to go to 2? Go for 2. And your quote, I can't quote you directly, but basically it was, we're going to go win the whole darn thing. Why did you feel that you wanted to do that and that you had the players who could execute it?
Well, one, just we trust our players to make plays. And I didn't want to go overtime. We had momentum. When our kids came off the field, when we took the timeout and we just want to make sure we're all organized, I told everybody prior to that particular series, we score, we're going for 2. We've had a play hip pocketed for a number of weeks. Kids just came off the field, told them we're going for 2, had a big smile, very confident in that particular play, and it boils down to, Johnny Football making a play.
And forever the play will be remembered as snag. I'm sure that'll be somewhere on the trophy case. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Frank Fontana was a football and basketball captain at St. Pius more than 30 years ago. In 1981, he led the Warriors to a state championship in the football field of play. In his memory, the Fontana Award is given to the most outstanding player in the small class category. The award is sponsored by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. Fontana family members can come forward now and be joined by former winners. From 2001, Zach Sherman from Platte County. And 2003 Fontana winner, Benny Palmer, Kearney High School. Our first finalist was a true dual threat, running and passing on offense and at cornerback. He combined for more than 3,000 yards of offense with 32 touchdowns. He also scored twice on defense. From St. Joe Lafayette, senior quarterback defensive back, Diego Bernard, head coach Bart Hardy. Our second finalist unofficially wins Best Hair here, hands down. Ain't no question about it. Suburban Blue Offensive Player of the Year, nearly 3,400 yards passing with 38 TDs, 5 times. He threw for more than 300 yards in a game. Platte County senior quarterback Tanner Clarkson. Tanner's head coach is Bill Lutz. Finalist number 3 finished his high school career 37-2 as a starter. He set all-time Kansas passing records with more than 9,300 career yards and 124 touchdowns, 38 this season. From Bishop Miege, the unbeaten champs in 4A, Carter Putz. His head coach is John Holmes. Carter is a repeat finalist like this other senior quarterback. He threw for 2,400 yards with 28 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions. He also scored 7 times by foot. From Center High School, here's Amon Ryan with head coach Brian DeLong. Time now to meet the winner of the 19th annual Frank Fontana Memorial Award presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Kansas City. Senior quarterback Carter Putz from Bishop Miege. Carter made a habit of playing his best football in the biggest games. Miege scored 103 points in the state semis and finals combined. In the championship game, he completed 82% of his passes with 4 touchdowns up top. He racked up more than 400 yards total offense with a 5th score on the ground. Carter is with our Brad Porter.
First of all, Carter, since you're a winner, you don't need the ID badge anymore. I think everybody here knows who you are.
Yeah.
It's been a busy couple of weeks for you. You capped off your career with your 4th straight state championship, numerous Kansas State records, and now the Fontana Award. Are you ready for a break, or do you kind of like this?
I kind of like it, but and finishing off my career as a state champion was, pretty special, and I'm just happy the way everything played out.
It wasn't so many years ago that Bishop Miege was not really that competitive in football. It's turned around since in the last 7, 8, 9 years. What has it been like to be a part of that, to be able to establish something that the kids behind you can continue to build on?
Yeah, it's very special. I believe that we have a very strong culture and tradition there, and to just keep that going and kind of build for the future, it means a lot.
Next up for you, baseball scholarship to Notre Dame. When are you going to hit the cages?
I kind of already have, so I just got to keep going.
That's why you're a 4-time champion. Carter, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
One week ago, inside the Hall of Honor at Arrowhead Stadium, we introduced the 4 finalists in each category. Longtime Lawrence head coach Dirk Wed also given the Lifetime Achievement Award. Jay Binkley from 610 Sports presented the Gordon Docking Media Award, and we met the Interscholastic League Players of the Year, both from Central High School, quarterback Javian Shelby on offense, with Drayshawn Sanders on defense. We also introduced the All-Simone team that night, which included Billy Maples. That night, I walked in with Billy and his family. Billy was wearing the greatest hat ever, and I'm guessing he hasn't taken it off since. I said, dude, it's you. Keep it. Wear it all the time. And, his girlfriend was right there wearing his letter jacket, and he had the hat on. After the ceremony, I was asked to huddle over with the family by the podium, and his mom said, it's Billy's sister, not his girlfriend. We're not in Arkansas, okay? So, Billy's sister Rachel is here in the letter jacket. His girlfriend Danielle is here. Would you two please stand up? Ladies, Oh, there they are. Wait. I'm really sorry. Senior moments. With a complete all Simone list from the Simone Award and Selection Committee, here's Nick McCabe. You can applaud for Nick. This is the hardest working guy in Simone.
Good morning, everyone. Before I introduce the All Simone team, I'd like to thank the head coaches of the Greater Kansas City Football Coaches Association for participating in the voting process. Their ballots, along with those of select media members, determine the 4 finalists and the winner of all 5 player awards presented today. The ballots those coaches received contain the names of 10 semifinalists for each award. Those semifinalists are determined by a committee of media members. Those media members volunteer hours to research players, contact coaches, compile statistics, and participate in one very long meeting. I'm proud to chair this committee and would like to recognize the other members. From Preps KC and the main Simone Award Committee, Dion Clisso. Also from Preps KC, Mike Lavieri, Ryan Wallace, and Cole Young. From 610 Sports and this year's Gordon Docking Award winner, Jay Binkley. From Sports Radio 810 WHB, Jeremy Crabtree and Chad Rader. From the Kansas City Star, Sam McDowell. And from the Independence Examiner, Carl Zinke. Please join me in thanking them on behalf of the Simone family for their service to these awards. In 2010, the All Simone team, presented by Hot Mix Materials, was established to recognize the best players at each position throughout the Kansas City area. Honorees received a patch for their letter jackets based on the Simone Awards logo. They'll get those patches today. The 8th annual All Simone team was initially introduced at Arrowhead Stadium last Tuesday. Today we want to again announce their names, have them stand and be recognized for their accomplishments. Please stand when your name is called and remain standing until we recognize each position group with applause. We'll start first with the defensive backs. From St. Joseph Lafayette, a senior Diego Bernard. From Liberty, senior Joseph Barnes. From Lawrence, senior Echo Boy Doe. From Park Hill, senior Devin Haney. Mario Goodrich, a senior from Lee Summit West. Kinzer Madison, a senior from Lafayette County. Drayshawn Sanders, a senior from Kansas City Central High School. And Jared Flood, a senior from St. Thomas Aquinas. The defensive backs. The linebackers are Nick Allen, a senior from Blue Valley Southwest, Macaulay Bowers, a senior from Richmond, Dylan Downing, a junior from Bishop Miege, Mason Middleton, a senior from Fort Osage, Brighton Ramirez, a senior from Park Hill, and Dominic Rayburn, a senior from Staley. Let's hear it for the linebackers. Defensive linemen, Daniel Carson, a senior from William Chrisman, a 2-time honoree. Javier Darrett, a junior from St. Thomas Aquinas. Nick Cruz, a senior from Harrisonville. Tyler Miller, a senior from Staley. Daniel Parker, our Buchanan winner, a senior from Blue Springs. Spencer Rowe, a senior from Lawrence Free State. Michael Smith, our belt winner, a senior from Platte County. And Braden Swope, a senior from Liberty. The defensive linemen. Our offensive lineman, Ben Becker, a senior from Park Hill South, a 2-time honoree. Jack Burns, a senior from Bishop Miege. Sidney Gates, a senior from Center. Joseph Glazer, a senior from Rockhurst. Marshall Kellner, a senior from DeSoto. TJ Kennedy, a senior from Lee Summit. Bobby Lawrence, a senior from St. Joe Central. Joe Michalski, a junior from St. Thomas Aquinas. And Conrad Rowley, a junior from Blue Springs. The offensive lineman. The running backs, Dalton Bach, a senior from Tonganoxie. Milton Brash, a senior from Shawnee Mission East. Phillip Brooks, a senior from Lee Summit West. Jack Stanine, a junior from Lawrence Free State. Robert Rowie, a senior from Liberty and a 2-time honoree. Ivan Webb, a senior from Schlegel. And Jeremiah Wilson, a senior from Center. The running backs. The quarterbacks are Tanner Clarkson, a senior from Platte County. Dante Jackson, a senior from Lawrence. Graham Mertz, a junior from Blue Valley North. Carter Putz, a senior from Bishop Miege, a 2-time honoree and the Fontana Award winner. John Rayburn, a senior from Staley. Amon Ryan, a senior from Center and a 2-time honoree. And Javion Shelby, a senior from Kansas City Central, as well as Billy Maple, senior from Park Hill. And our last group we'll do today, The wide receivers and tight ends. J.D. Benbow, a senior from Staley. Dominic Jacinto, a senior from Raytown. Jackson Heath, a senior tight end from Blue Valley Northwest. Logan Talley, a junior from Mill Valley. And tight end Zach Elam, a senior from Staley, as well as Ronnie Bell, a senior from Park Hill. That's the 8th annual All Simone team. Thank you so much.
Between 1975 and 1983, there was no Player of the Year award in Kansas City. The Nigro ended, but the concept was brought back as a way to honor Tommy Simone, a talented 12-year-old who died in an accident. It was a way for the family to pay it forward. A love for life and a love for football, the spirit that we remember as we gather this day each year. The Simone Award is given out annually to the most outstanding player in the Metro with no regard for school size. One of my favorite parts of the ceremony is to welcome back past winners of the Nigro and Simone. So gentlemen, if you would come forward. From 1944, Ray Hobbs, 1944. Wearing his classic Jayhawk tie. What's up, youngster? It's good to see you, brother. 1955, Phil Snowden, North Kansas City. Phil played with Jeff Kelso's father in high school. In 1969, Nigro winner, Louis Nigro, De La Salle. And from 1974, in Rockhurst High School, Carl Tutorino. Former Simone winners in the house, year 2, Dose, Sean Long, 1984, Grandview High School. 2004, NFL tight end from Ray Beck, Chase Kaufman. 2005, NFL quarterback Josh Freeman, Grandview High School. Skylar Thompson and Alvin Ormack send their regrets. Bowl practice started at Kansas State today. And now the finalist for the 35th annual Thomas A. Simone Award. He was first-team Suburban Gold at running back, averaging nearly 8 yards a carry, 152 yards per game on the ground. That was a school record. Running and receiving, he collected more than 2,200 yards of offense, a record 2,484 when you count kick and punt returns, and he did a lot there as well. One of his 30 touchdowns came in the return game, also a school record. From Lee Summit West, senior Phillip Brooks, his head coach, Vinny Pearson. In the history of his school, which opened in 1986, they never won a state title in football. They had 60 in things like tennis and golf and cross country, but none in football. Our junior quarterback changed that. In the 6A state title game, he threw for 462 yards with 4 touchdowns. Number 5 came at the final minute on the ground and proved to be the game winner. 45 passing touchdowns for the year with only 6 interceptions. Here's Blue Valley North quarterback Graham Mertz, head coach Andy Sims. For the first time ever, a Simone family member was a finalist. He told us he'd always lived his life in accordance with Tommy's legacy and those 4 words on the trophy. Love, friendship, courage, champions. Before the Missouri Class 5 state title game, he prayed if he could only have one thing, it'd be for a championship to share with his brother and his teammates. Team first. Our finalist did more than his part, down a touchdown, driving 72 yards in just 41 seconds, a touchdown pass, followed by a 2-point conversion for the win. From 14-0 Staley, senior quarterback Johnny Rayburn, head coach Phil. In 1983, nobody really knew what the Simone Award would become or what would become of the first winner. The connection between the two really turned into family. What started here in a gym that was a parking lot then, with a classic by Kool and the Gang serenading the inaugural winner, Celebrate Good Times. Come on. Dr. Kent Flores, when I was a track tape player, still works in his car. Listens to it often. The hit was actually current back then. Please welcome the first Simone winner, Park Hill graduate, Jeff Kelso. The principal said, we're going to give him an alumni shirt. I said, XL, tight, but XL's good.
I like it. Wow, this is great. Brad, I'm glad you cried because I'm a crier. I'll cry, so bear with me. Please bear with me. I'm a passionate, enthusiastic man here, and this is a big deal to me. And that, by the way, this is overwhelming. I didn't expect anything. That haircut was cool back in the day, just so you guys know. Not so cool now, but it was cool back in the day. What an honor to be back here at my high school. It's been a long time coming. It's 35 years. It's amazing. Lots changed, quite a bit different than when we had the ceremony upstairs in I think it's the auxiliary gym now, which I don't even think has any bleachers anymore, but it was a wonderful place to have it, and it's probably my greatest memory as an athlete was that day. Bear with me here, and I'll get to the winner. Gosh, the meaning of this award and what it has done for me and my life is I can't explain it. There were two people in my life that influenced me and kind of made me the man I am today. One was my high school football coach, Joe Mentner, who was a legendary high school football coach for years, old school. He's kind of like Archie Bunker. Some of you guys would know who Archie Bunker is, some of you guys wouldn't. He was a tough old man. But he made me a man. He turned me into a man. And the other person was a young man I didn't even know. Tommy Simone. Tommy passed away, was in a tragic accident about 6 months before they introduced the award. And that day changed my life. It was a very emotional day for my family. It was a very emotional day for the Simone family. It was the first. And it was special. But what I took away from that day was how insignificant my accomplishments were, but I wouldn't realize the significance of it until I became a husband and a father and those types of things. So on the front of this trophy is love, courage, friendship, champions. You know, and that's what it's about. This award, you know, we do great things on the field, guys. You guys are all well deserving, and it breaks my heart that all of you couldn't win it, but one guy does. But it's about the love. It's about how to love. It's about how to love your teammates. It's about the friendships that you make while you're here. It's about the courage, you know, courage to make decisions and do things that sometimes are difficult decisions, but you know it's the right decision, so you make that decision. And it's about being a champion. It's not about being a champion on the field. It's about being a champion in life. It's about being a champion as a dad, as a mother, as a brother, as a son, as a daughter. My son, he's 15. He goes to Rockhurst. You guys took it to us, so I have to give you that, man. But his name is Bo, and he was excited to come today because I went to school, number one. Number two, he was waiting for me to cry, so he likes that. He thinks it's funny. But guys, remember this, man. Today, take this day and remember what it is. Take it in, and don't look at your stats. Don't look at what you've done on the field. Take this day from here on out and decide what you want to be. You know, be passionate about what you do. Be a champion off the field. Make smart decisions. Do smart things. Do well in school. Graduate. Become a father. Become a great husband. Do those things and be great. So enough of me. I think we need to get on to who we're really honoring here today. And I think we've got a video. We're going to see some human highlight film here. So we can show that right now. Enough of the suspense here. Let's give it up for your 2017 Simone winner, Ronnie Bell.
We will hear from Ronnie shortly, but not yet. First, one of my all-time favorite Chiefs. In 1998, he was the only rookie free agent to make the opening day roster. But a year later, his family was in crisis. Their infant daughter, Shayla, needed surgery, then another because of heart defects. With no guarantee he'd make the roster, he left training camp in Wisconsin, trusting, praying, hoping that things would work out. Shayla recovered. He made the team, starting all 16 games in 1999, and he finished the next season with 14 sacks in only 13 games. This fall, he was a first-year head coach at Avila University. Please welcome 10-year NFL vet, Eric Hicks.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Mr. Simone. Appreciate it. Guys, I did this thing about 15 years ago, and this has developed tremendous. full circle. I've been a player, now I'm a coach. This is exciting for me. Get to spend time with high school athletes. High school athletes who have minds that are to be molded. We've been out all week recruiting. I've been mentioning that I'm a football coach now at Avila University here in town. It's great to get out and see you young men. You young men are the future. You are the future. Sorry. This is a special time for you. It's a special time for you because you are setting out on the adventure of a lifetime. Some of you will go on to great things in football, some of you will go on to great things in academics, but you're going to go on to something. You're going to go on to something. This is an amazing experience for you and your families. Congratulations not only to all you student athletes, but to your parents. I can't wait for 3 years to pass by now, and I'll hope to be in the same position as your parents to get to watch your kids here with my son Rocco, who goes to Blue Valley West, and he'll hopefully be up here in 2021, so we'll see about that. Hey, he's going to be a big kid. He had a lot to work with. What do you expect? I just wanted to share a little bit with you about football today. And this isn't something that I made up. It's from a person and from a football family who I respect. This, what I'm about to talk about, is from John Harbaugh, the Super Bowl winning coach of the Baltimore Ravens, brother of Jim Harbaugh, University of Michigan, NFL quarterback. The game of football is under attack. We see it every day in headlines and on the news. The question is asked over and over again, why would anybody want to play football? And why would anyone let their kids play? Here's the answer. I believe there's practically no other place where a young man is held to a higher standard. Football is hard, it's tough, it demands discipline, it teaches obedience, and it builds character. Football is a metaphor for life. Every time I talk to my players for the first time, if we're bringing in a new group, freshmen are coming in, I tell them it's a microcosm of life. Then every time I do that, I have to explain what microcosm means. So that's difficult. This game asks a young man to push himself farther than he ever thought he could go. It literally challenges physical courage. It shows him what it means to sacrifice. It teaches him the importance of doing his job well. We learn to put others first, to be part of something bigger than ourselves. And we learn to lift our teammates and ourselves up together. These are rare lessons nowadays. For a lot of these kids, it's not until it's all said and done and they look back on it several years later, they realize the difference sport made in their lives. And I tell my players all the time, when they tell you you can't play anymore, that's a very, very depressive thing. It is hard to recreate the bonds that you have built and the pride you feel in being part of a team. Have you ever met anybody that accomplished playing 4 years of high school football, and at the end of that run, they said, man, I wish I would never have played? It never gets said. We know that football players aren't perfect. Nobody is. But millions of former players, one by one, can recount the life-altering principles they learned from football. They know the value of football is the values in football. That's why high school football, and particularly high school coaches, play such a vital role in our society. Our football coaches are on the front lines of the battle for the hearts and minds of the young men in our society. The culture war is on, and we see it every day. These young men are more and more vulnerable than ever. How many youth and high school coaches serve as father figures to their players? How many mothers look to the coaches of their son's football team as the last best hope to show their son what it means to become a man, a real man, more than we'll ever know? Coaches teach young people the lessons of life that very often they learn from no one else. Coaches have the kind of influence in our schools and with our young people that is difficult to come by. The Reverend Billy Graham once said, one coach will influence more people in 1 year than the average person will do in a lifetime. It is said all the time that it takes just one person to believe in a young man or a young woman to change their lives. I couldn't agree more. Our culture teaches us how to judge an activity by how it's going to make us feel right now. But football doesn't work that way. The game challenges and pushes us. It's often uncomfortable. It requires us to be at our best. Isn't that what we want in our society? Football is a great sport. Football teams can be, and very often are, the catalyst for good in our school and our communities. Millions of young men have learned lessons in football that they could only learn through playing this game. Football has saved lives. That is why football matters. Now, where's my award recipient here? Where are you at? I'll tell you what, this is the precious thing. First of all, you're not a basketball player. So, just kidding. Congratulations on being a two-sport athlete. But reading over your bio today in the program, the most important and impressive thing that I read was 26, 29, knockdown block, something as a wide receiver. Is that correct somewhere in there? If you read that in there. I was talking to, I have another coach on my staff, and Derek Alexander, who played for the Chiefs, great wide receiver from the University of Michigan, played for the Chiefs, several other teams. We were talking about wide receiver blocking yesterday. And I often have a quote for my young men. It is that the very best kind of pride is that which compels a man to do his very best, even when no one is watching. Now, when you go out and make those blocks, nobody's telling you good job all the time. You come to the sideline, like they see it on film the next day, right? But that is the type of pride that you take in your blocking that propels you to win this award today, and it will get you that scholarship to Missouri State. So hats off to this young man. Thank you everybody for having me. I appreciate it. Oh, that's it. I'm gonna give it back to Dave now.
Thanks, Eric. Okay, now it's Ronnie's turn. Finally, we get to hear from our winner, 35th Simone winner, receiving the trophy, the ceremonial passing of the trophy, if you will, from Jeff Kelso to Ronnie Bell, who will make his way to the interview area with Brad Porter. Jeff's going to bring back 1983. See how much heavier it was then. Now that you're all ripped and stuff, it's not even heavy now. Put it up there next to 2017.
Try not to block him out.
Yeah.
All these people are here for you.
Yeah, it's this is crazy. This is all it just feels like a dream.
When I talked to you last week, I mentioned that the Simone Award had not been back to Park Hill in 34 years. I asked you what it would mean to bring it back. What does it now mean to have this here and to be able to share it with all your teammates and the fellow students?
Yeah, to be able to share it with my teammates is probably the best feeling. I mean, I think I talked to them whenever they brought it up after the season, just to do it for them, it'd just be the best thing, and that's exactly what it is. It's the best thing.
To put up numbers, you have to have a kid that can spin it at quarterback. How good is Billy Maples?
Oh, man, I refer to him as the GOAT, for real. He's the man. He always put it right where it needed to be, and he made my job pretty easy.
Seeing Jeff Kelso, he was here a second ago. When I was a kid, I grew up north, Walnut Creek, Weatherby Lake, some other areas. Every Saturday morning, waking up in the neighborhood was, did you hear what Kelso did last night? What happened? What did Kelso do last night? People are going to talk about this for a long time. In 30 or so years, what would you like people to think about you, the way you played, what kind of a teammate you were, and what kind of a classmate you were?
Of course, I want everybody to think I was a good person, first and foremost, and then when it came to playing football, just the competitor, just a great competitor.
All right, make a pick. Coach Hood's visor that he wears to practice every day, I think he wears it to class every day, or Billy Maples' big black cowboy hat, which one?
I think I'm a rock with Coach Hood in his visor.
Well, enjoy the rest of the day today. You probably got basketball practice tonight. You're not getting out of that. You're not getting out of class either, I don't think.
No, I think Mom and Dad gonna make me go to class. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right.
All right. The ceremony is not complete till the winner continues one of our great traditions at the Simone ceremony. Before Dr. Kinchlow declares your next step, a great day at Park Hill High School, it's all about your winner. It's all about the victory lap with the trophy and hysteria in the building. Starting now, if the band would be so kind.